Hello students, in our previous session we saw what is deadlock and what are the four necessary conditions of deadlock. So you know what deadlock is and what are those four necessary conditions. The four conditions of deadlocks are mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption and circular wait. To remove deadlock from our system, we need to avoid any one of the four conditions. So to do that, we have many different deadlock handling techniques. Let's see one by one. Mainly, there are three ways of handling deadlock. First one is deadlock prevention or avoidance, deadlock detection and recovery. Last one is ignore the problem altogether. Deadlock prevention. In this method, system will prevent any deadlock conditions to happen. That is, the system will make sure that at least one of the four conditions of the deadlock will be violated. These conditions: mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, circular wait. Since we are preventing any one of four conditions to happen by applying some techniques, these techniques can be very costly, so you should apply deadlock prevention in only those situations which has a drastic change in the system if deadlock happen. Let's see how can we avoid the four conditions of deadlock by using deadlock prevention technique. The first condition is mutual exclusion. Mutual exclusion says that a resource can only be held by one process at a time. If another process is also demanding the same resource, then it has to wait for the allocation of that resource. So practically we cannot violate the mutual exclusion for a process because in general one resource can perform the work of one process at a time. For example, if you have a printer cannot print documents of two users at the same time, right? So if I have a printer, one printer is there, only one printer can print only one page or one user documentation at a time. The printer cannot be shared by two users. On the other hand, I have a file, so the permission is set to read only. That read only file can be accessed by multiple users at the same time. In case of second example, mutual exclusion can be violated, but in case of first one, mutual exclusion cannot be violated because the printer, in that case, mutual exclusion cannot be violated. If two persons are trying to access the same time, means deadlock will occur. So definitely these conditions cannot be violated in case of printer. Second condition is hold and wait. Hold and wait arises when a process holds some resources and is waiting for some other resources that are being held by some other waiting process. To avoid this condition, so the process can acquire all the resources that is required before starting its execution. In this way, the process need not wait for some other resources during its execution, which means, guys, if the process wants some resources before it start execution itself, allocate all the resources that are required for the process to complete its task. But this method is not practical because we cannot know the resources required by the process in advance before its execution. So another way of avoiding hold and wait can be the do not hold technique. For example, if the process needs 10 resources, R1, R2, R3 till R10. See the example. At a particular time, we can provide R1, R2, R3 and R4. After performing the jobs on these resources, which means R1 to R4, the process needs to release these resources and then the other resource will be provided to the process. In this way, we can avoid the hold and wait condition. Next, we have no preemption. This is a technique in which a process cannot forcefully take the resources of other process. Because of this, deadlock is happening in the system, then we can forcefully preempt. Preempt means forcefully take the resource. Preempt the resource from the process that is holding that resources. By doing so, we can remove the deadlock, but there are certain things that should be kept in mind before using this forceful approach. If the process if the process is having a very high priority or the process is a system process, then only the process can forcefully preempt the resources of other process. Also try to preempt the resources of these processes which are there in the waiting state. So these two conditions should be remembered. Last condition is circular wait. Circular wait is a condition in which the first process is waiting for the resource held by the second process. The second process is waiting for the resource held by the third process, and so on. At last, the last process is waiting for the resource held by the first process. So every process is waiting for each other to release the resource. This is called a circular wait. We have to avoid this condition. If we avoid this condition, deadlock will never occur. So to avoid this, what we can do is we can list the number of resources required by a process and we assign some number or priority to each resources. Now the process will take the resource in the ascending order. For example, if the process P1 and P2 require resource 1 and resource 2, then initially both the process will demand the resource R1 and only one of them will get resource R1 at that time, and the other process have to wait for its turn. So in this way, both the process will not be waiting for each other. One of them will be executing and other will wait for its turn. So there is no circular wait here. So this is how you can avoid this condition. So there are four conditions or four prevention method. One is mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, circular wait. If you avoid any one condition out of four, so then you can avoid deadlock situations in the system. First method we have seen deadlock prevention. The second method is deadlock avoidance. So what is this deadlock avoidance here is the general idea behind deadlock avoidance is to prevent deadlock from ever happening. To do that, we have different deadlock handling algorithms are there. So that requires more information about each process and tends to leads to low device utilization. For example, in simple algorithm, the scheduler only need to know the maximum number of each resources that a process might potentially use. We already studied about schedulers. And the second one, that is a complex algorithm. In case of complex algorithm, the scheduler can also take the advantage of the schedule of exactly what resources may be needed in what order. We have different algorithms are there. The first one is safe state algorithm. Second one is resource allocation graph algorithm. Third one is bankers algorithm. Last and the fourth one is safety algorithm. And the last one is resource. Here, which is very important topic, all five algorithms are very important. So I have added a video link over there. Please go through this, guys. If you have any doubts, please mail me or WhatsApp me to my number. So thank you for watching. We'll continue the further topics in the next session.